अवसर पर ये शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं सदैव इस विधान और विधि का पालन करूँगी और इसके नियमों को स्थापित करने का प्रयत्न करूँगी। जय विधान, जय विधान। I congratulate Professor Hussain, Head and Dean, Faculty of Law, and his colleagues and students, research scholars, for organizing a very informative program. And this day holds immense significance as it marks the adoption of our country's constitution on November 26, 1949, laying the foundation for a sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic. The experiences while listening to Mr. Ejaz, a student from Women's Studies Center, was indeed again a learning experience while listening to him. And I have seen Ejaz number of times. I am so happy. Whenever he speaks with full confidence. He's a very good student in his department, and the platforms like this, he was invited today for a brief speech will further give him confidence. And it's duty of all of us as teachers to encourage him. He's academically so rich, and if he's to be provided any confidence, I think these are the occasions where we can do it. And believe me, I think I must have not gone to any other department so many times as I have been to Department of Law. It adds to the credibility of Department of Law, because they are always engaged in various activities, in various programs which are not of the importance of national level, societal importance, of importance of our youth. They are always engaged in it, and I'm happy about it that Department of Law is doing so well. Our constitution embodies the collective wisdom, aspirations and ideals of our great nation. It's a remarkable document that guarantees fundamental rights and freedoms to every citizen, irrespective of their background, caste, creed or gender. I'm talking about our document of our constitution. It enshrines the principles of justice, equality and liberty, ensuring that all individuals are treated with dignity and respect. And I'm sure, the Department of Law definitely must be deliberating on these issues number of times. As I said, to think of getting Ejaz here is a wonderful, example. And on this Constitution Day, we must reflect upon the values that our Constitution upholds and recommit ourselves to preserving and strengthening them. It's our duty as responsible citizens to uphold the principles of democracy, secularism and social justice that our Constitution embodies. Our Constitution provides us with the framework to govern ourselves, to resolve conflicts peacefully, and to build a just and inclusive society. It's a living document that has stood the test of time, adapting to the changing needs and aspirations of our people. It's a testament to the foresight of our founding fathers and the dedication of countless individuals who have worked tirelessly to protect and preserve its sanctity. It was indeed very informative to listen to, Professor Hussain, the examples which he cited. It's always very informative when you listen to, persons with law, background. listening, I never had an opportunity to visit any court in my own country and listen to the proceedings of any court hearing. But I have listened one at, Sydney, just like that, because, on a touring I went, and it's, such a pleasure when there are arguments and all that within a court. You really learn. It's again being in the court and listen to the proceedings itself is a learning experience. And as we know, education and awareness about our constitution are crucial. In this regard, we must empower our youth with knowledge about their rights and responsibilities as citizens. This is very much linked up with the constitution, and one of our duties should be this: by instilling constitutional values in the next generation, very important, we can build a society that is more just, tolerant, and inclusive. I believe that this one day national program organized by School of Law, University of Kashmir, will foster a sense of commitments towards ideals of Constitution of India among the citizens in general and our students in particular. Let us also remember the sacrifices made by countless individuals who fought for our freedom and for the values enshrined in our Constitution. Their struggle and perseverance inspire us to work towards a better future where every citizen can live with dignity and enjoy the fruits of a truly democratic society. On this Constitution Day, let us reaffirm our commitment to the ideals of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Let us pledge to uphold the principles of our Constitution and work together to build a nation that is united, progressive, and compassionate. Thank you very much.
Any law or this just very sacred document, this constitution, it's to be implemented, it's to be adopted in letter and spirit. Many times we see that we have adopted, we have implemented anything in letter, but as regards spirit, we also lose focus of that thing. What does the spirit mean? So we would like to let us emphasize it ourselves that this document, sacred document, it is to be adopted, it is to be implemented in letter and spirit. It was just a matter of not only satisfaction but pleasure to see Ajaz over here and sensitizing all of us, just giving him an opportunity, recognizing him here in such fora. That also speaks of our belief of respect in the constitution of this country, because equality, that's one of the essential ingredients or essential, or we can say essence of the constitution of India. And undoubtedly a major transformation is taking place in the society. Some of the things which Ajaz mentioned here in a chronological manner, when he was a school student, when he was student at +2 level, and then he went to college, and then when he entered university, and once he is with us. So probably this is an indicator of how society is undergoing transformation, how we believe in the equality. That's what I would like to emphasize here. And then the Department of Law, it has a prominent role as regards creating or generating awareness among the masses, particularly here here on campus. See, there are different stakeholders or different groups of stakeholders. There are students, there are research scholars, there is faculty, there is administrative staff, there is supporting staff. I think this is the responsibility of the Department of Law to sensitize and educate us about all these things.
We always think that to discuss about the Constitution, Department of Law is the right place to discuss and deliberate. And we are grateful to the HOD and Dean of Law that he has conducted this awareness, rather this program at Department of Law. When we all know that when we come to the Constitution of India, it is a voluminous document prepared by the father of Constitution along with his experts, which has probably taken almost the time which is required for the residency period of a PhD. It is 3 years at our university. The 3 years of a PhD residency period is required for the PhD. And I was reading that it has been completed. The draft constitution has been done in 2 hours, 2 years and 11 months. Almost it is 3 years period. The time we take for our PhDs also. So in the constitution, what we say that it was earlier probably called the National Law Day. Now it has been in 2015. It has been changed to the Constitution Day of India, and we all know that it has been adopted on the 26th November, and it has come into force by adoption of Constituent Assembly in the 26th January, what we celebrate normally. And our Constitution is a Constitution which always provides certain directive principles, certain fundamental duties to the citizens, and ensures both the rights of the citizens as well as the duty of citizens to be towards their country. And when it when it directs us to adhere to the certain norms which we have to follow, it simultaneously directs the state or the government also to come to the rescue or come to the welfare of citizens at their own end. What we require, in fact, this level, why India is celebrating the Constitution Day today on 26th November. One is that there are a number of issues related to it, but the most important is to make our citizens aware about the Constitution Day, which we neither technically nor consciously were aware of. And I am hopeful that today's celebration of Constitution Day in the university as well as throughout the country will make us aware about our fundamental, more so about our fundamental duties as citizens of the country. I already told you that Department of Law is always doing a commendable job, and I am hopeful that in future, in the years to come, it will also do its best for the welfare of the masses, for the welfare of the society. And I know that under the leadership of Honorable Vice Chancellor, we are holding the law clinics or even the legal awareness program at the different underprivileged and different levels. I hope that you will continue with that, and whatever support is required from the university administration, I'm sure that Honorable Vice Chancellor, she is always supportive of such proactive and developmental activities, and I'm sure we will continue with those in future also.
The Constitution actually imbibes and enshrines certain basic principles. And the essence of the Constitution of India, my Samvidhan, is the democracy. And the supremacy of the Samvidhan, while the jurists and the legal luminaries, since the times of its drafting, have always emphasized and focused upon this underlying principle that it is the supreme law of the land, and its supremacy has been accepted through various landmark pronouncements like Shankari Prasad, like Golaknath. Shankari Prasad, I think, in 1950s, 51, and then Golaknath in 1970s, 73, I remember correctly, and then Keshavananda Bharati. And the supremacy, I remember the debates of Naini Palkiwala. And I remember the times when the document, the principles, the basic structure document and doctrine survived the emergency era. If I correctly remember the debates of Nani Palkhiwala before 13 bench Supreme Court judges. And I remember correctly that Indira Gandhi versus Jagjeevan Ram, if you go and look into the history, I mean, ultimately the judges had to call it a day. They could not come to the court because the strength of the Nani Palkhiwala's arguments was so strong that the Chief Justice, on the day of the judgment, suspended the court in a way sine die and did not muster the courage basically to go against the arguments of Nani Palkhiwala. And the whole essence of the cases and whole essence of the debate, which underlies only one thing, that even the parliament could not change the basic structure. The parliament and that basic structure actually includes the fundamental rights. The basic structure includes the right to equality, the freedoms enshrined in part 3rd of the Indian Constitution. And I have taken a pledge, and I know that when I am taking the pledge, I am taking a pledge to protect and safeguard in whatever capacity I have, to protect and safeguard the constitutional provisions, and I am duty bound to respect and get it respected.
It is my apology that I represent myself today here. It is not an individual representation, it is a representation of a community, the transgender community, that is the marginalized, socio-educationally backward class and most discriminated part of the society. Before I share further, myself is Ejaz are already introducing me as student of gender studies. Even when you all know that every year we celebrate the Constitution Day, but then what the special is today? I think it is my representation today that made it possible. Even we all know that it is not enough that we read the words of the Constitution, security, justice, equality, and fraternity. It matters then when we apply in real life. I think I feel proud today here that this is the real and meaningful celebration of the Constitution Day. For me, it is not easy that I will share to you everything from every of my journey through which I passed. Actually, I just want to give a hint what actually happening with with we genders as a transgenders in families. Normally, when a child is born, whether male or female, they possess the unconscious memories and they perform with they possess that activity. They go towards those activities in which they are in which they get suitable. But same happened with me. I was opposing my gender. Even I was labeled when I born. I was labeled as a male sex, but I was not fit in that. I opposed to that. And how influenced the society, the institution, and the family? They influenced me. Influencing me, they thrown the impact on my development, my growth, overall my personality, get influenced at that time. But when I entered in higher secondary level of education, I was thinking I did not found there a good environment, comfortable. Even students, they were not satisfied with me. Then I was realizing maybe it is my fault. I am this, and so that is why they look me strange way. But when I entered in college, I found there are different same, but the teachers were more sensitized. The students were more sensitive. Even I learned a lot in my college. I learned leadership. But then again I realized that when I was in secondary level, the teachers were not sensitized at the time. Maybe the students were matured. But the scenario of the university that is all visible, sir knowing me well, what is happening here and what achievements I have achieved. First, I used my individual rights. I raised the voice for my identity. Then in 2022, first we got the identity cards and the certificates from the district level magistrates, and I gave the reference of the Transgender Protection Rights Bill 2019 that Parliament passed for our protection. And same, I again moved forward. Then I proposed for the pension security scheme, and same government approved that.